70s web shooter. In 1977, we got to see the first Spider-Man live-action portrayal, with Nicholas Hammond playing Peter Parker, a university student who manufactured his web shooters and web fluid. These web shooters were big bracelets, with a button on the palm, even though the webs shot from these web shooters looked like white painted ropes. But they still got the job done. Japanese web shooter. In the Japanese adaptation we were introduced to the spider bracelet, a piece of alien technology used by Takuya Yamashiro. This Spider-Man was very different, and adopted the style of Power Rangers. Traditional web shooters were replaced by multifunctional spider bracelet, allowing Takuya to store his suit, shoot a variety of webs, and can summon a giant robot. Organic web shooters. In 2002, Sam Raimi's Spider debuted on the big screen, with Tobey Maguire as the main protagonist. When Peter Parker was bitten by a genetically modified spider, he developed spider silk glands, allowing him to shoot webs organically. This version of Spider-Man does not rely on mechanical web shooters. However, there was supposed to be a scene when Peter Parker was making his web shooters, but that was removed in support of organic webs. Mark Webb's web shooters. In the Amazing Spider-Man movies, which were Mark Webb's adaptation of the character, played by Andrew Garfield this time, Peter Parker made his web shooters with watch parts, which greatly demonstrated the intelligence of Peter Parker. These web shooters had a sleek design, leather strap and screen showing how much fluid is left. In Amazing Spider-Man 2, Peter uses new web shooters of hexagonal shape. They were vulnerable to Electro's current until Gwen Stacy magnetized them. MCU web shooters. In Marvel Cinematic Universe, Spider-Man is portrayed by Tom Holland. This version of Peter Parker is extremely smart. He managed to develop his web shooters along with the fluid. Once created, the fluid can be stored in small bottles. As these web shooters are created by basic material, so they are not so helpful in combat. Peter later received a new suit and a pair of web shooters from Tony Stark, with over 500 web combinations. Peter also used these web shooters along with the stealth suit provided by S.H.I.E.L.D. After losing the stealth suit, Peter used the Stark fabricator to build himself a new suit, having integrated web shooters. The Iron Spider-Man suit also came with nanotech-based web shooters, which can automatically fill the web fluid. When the multiversal villains arrived, Doctor Strange enchanted these web shooters, granting the ability to fire mystical webs, capable of teleporting individuals into special containment cells. Spider-Verse web shooters. In Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, we follow the story of Miles Morales, a student from Earth 1610. After being bitten by a radioactive spider, Miles gained the usual Spider-Man abilities, along with his unique abilities, like invisibility and bioelectrokinesis. Later, Aunt May gave Miles a pair of web shooters, which he used throughout his final battle with Kingpin. In Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, we were introduced to Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man of the year 2099. This Spider-Man has mechanical webs. It is important to note that the device on his wrist is not a web shooter, but it's a device to change location. The web shooters are mechanical, which are present inside his suit. The Spider-Verse showed many web shooters, like web shotguns and giant robots. Insomniac web shooters. In Spider-Man games, Peter and Miles created their red and black web shooters. They also modified their web shooters to use different combinations. Later, when Peter was merged with Symbiote, he was able to shoot black webs, but these webs were not organic, because Peter was unable to shoot them when his web shooters malfunctioned.